Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of our videocasts and podcasts from www.univrm.com. The title of the article today is Current Event News, Born Out of Time. The article contrasts the rate of technological change with the time of one's birth. Yesterday's article referred to Jules Verne novel Paris in the 20th Century, about a young man who lives in a world of glass skyscrapers, high-speed trains, gas automobiles, calculators, and a worldwide communications network, yet cannot find happiness and comes to a tragic end. Jules Verne wrote this book in 1863. 149 years later, his prophetic tale still gives lessons on the rate of technological change and the human ability to adapt to those changes. A person born 80 years ago, 1932, came into the world prior to World War II. Today, World War II viewed as ancient history. No television, no commercial airline transportation, and the most notable inventions of the following decade include ballpoint pens, FM radios, stereo records, and Samuel Colt's revolver. A person born 70 years ago, 1942, came into the world in the middle of World War II. As stated before, World War II viewed like ancient history. No television, no commercial airline transportation, and the most notable inventions of the following decade include the atomic bomb, the turboprop engine, and the hydrogen bomb. A person born 60 years ago, 1952, saw the following in their first decade of life. Princess Elizabeth became queen, DNA was discovered, the first Playboy magazine was published, the first atomic submarine launched, Disneyland opened, James Dean died in a car accident, black and white television replaces radio as the most popular form of mass media, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus, Elvis made his debut on The Ed Sullivan Show, the Korean War, Soviet Union launched the Sputnik, hula hoops became popular, McDonald's was founded, NASA was founded, and Castro became dictator of Cuba, the Berlin Wall built, and Soviets launched the first man into space, and then there's the Cuban Missile Crisis. A person born 50 years ago, 1962, saw the following in their first decade of life. JFK assassinated, RFK assassinated, MLK assassinated, Nelson Mandela sentenced to life in prison, the first G.I. Joe toy released, Malcolm X assassinated, the Star Trek series airs, Che Guevara assassinated, first heart transplant, the first Super Bowl, Neil Armstrong becomes the first man on the moon, pocket calculators introduced, color television replaces black and white television, the Vietnam War begins, jet, airplane, commercial transportation begins. A person born 40 years ago, 1972, saw the following in their first decade of life. Abortion legalized in the U.S., Microsoft was founded, Elvis died, Star Wars released, Sony introduces the Walkman, the first personal computers start to make their debut, AIDS is identified, and Michael Jackson releases his video album Thriller. The Falkland Islands was invaded by Argentina, the Vietnam War ended, giant cell phones start to become available. A person born 30 years ago, 1982, saw the following in the first decade of life. Apple Computer formed, Apple Macintosh invented, the CD-ROM invented, soft bifocal contact lenses invented, Windows invented by Microsoft, the first disposable camera, digital cell phones invented, Doppler radio invented, Doppler radar invented, high-definition television invented, World Wide Web via HTML and HTTP invented, and the digital answering machine invented. A person born 20 years ago, 1992, saw the following in the first decade of life. the Pentium processor invented, DVDs invented, Viagra invented, the iPod released, the artificial heart invented, digital satellite radio, with the wireless headset, the robot vacuum, Google, Amazon, Yahoo, etc. Some of the high-tech companies started during that decade. No matter what year you were born in, you are already born out of time. Those born in 2002 did not have Facebook, Twitter, phones, cameras, computers in one, like the iPhone, iPads, and by the time they are 10 years old in 2012, cannot imagine a world, or a world in which people born 80 years ago live, that is anything like their world. The pace of technological change is increasing, and the humans in the middle of the technological changes are often left behind. Can you imagine those born in 2002 looking back in 2082 and marveling at how barbaric things are today? 1,000 years ago, the average lifespan was 23 years. 100 years ago, the average lifespan was 49 years. The average lifespan for those born in 2012 projected at 85 years. We have many brilliant minds in technology and science, but to keep our world in balance, we need similar minds in social sciences in order for society to keep pace and avoid the tragedy envisioned by Jules Verne 149 years ago in his book, Paris in the 20th Century, where the character in the story, despite all the wonderful technological advances, can't find happiness in an ever more connected world, paradoxically leaving him ever more isolated. Happy birthday, Stephen Hawking, born 1942. We know you're ill and have survived longer than almost anyone with Lou Gehrig's disease, but we hope a mind like yours appears in a social science context to help balance out our world. This has been a videocast and podcast from www.univrm.com, and we look forward to bringing you more articles in future.